Someone said, bro, if you're making so much money, fix your bottom teeth. Well, guess what? I did fix my bottom teeth. You asshole.
I got Invisalign.
2 years later, I have my revenge.
Okay? Now who's laughing?
Bro, why are you sitting like that?
Start feeling.
Why is he sitting like that?
He's
Just let me know once we're ready to start.
No, we have started. This is
We've already started.
He's concerned
Start.
about
All right,
the
let's go.
scam comments and pyramid scheme. He doesn't know what he's going to rebuttal.
No, we don't
He's
jump
freaking
straight
out.
into the episode. Bro, I've literally been planning this with him for a day, and now he thinks we just jump straight into the content. It's called, do you see the bit before? Pre-welcome, banter, chatting, mid-conversation.
So for anyone watching right now, this is how Austin treats his co-founder.
Yeah.
With aggression.
Very aggressive.
Okay, you know what? We're just going to get into this. We're going to get into it. Happy Friday, everyone. Welcome to Freedom Fridays.
Welcome.
Thanks, Josh. If you don't know us,
Be here.
if you
Look over Austin constantly, it'll be
I would
big.
like
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
If you don't know us, we're Will, Josh, and Austin. We're the three co-founders of Freedom Club, Australia's fastest growing e-commerce education community.
Yes.
And here,
Yes.
we're here to talk.
Can we make sure there's at least one moment where we all look at the wide angle?
Okay, well, okay, we will do that.
We're
We
here
will do
to
that.
chat. We're here to let you guys know who we are, what we like to do, and how we chat amongst ourselves. So
Yes. So straight away, let's roast Josh for 30 minutes. Hey?
bring it on. This is the roast of Joshua Schwertfeger.
Let's go. Now, our first segment, actually, of Freedom Fridays is random question of the day. We're going to jump straight in, all right? Will is woefully underprepared for this.
Underprepared.
We didn't tell him anything about this at all.
We're all pretty underprepared. Like my preparation was in the car on the way here. So
We were in that together, buddy.
yeah.
Have you guys heard the saying, just do it live?
We're doing it live.
Doing it live.
So, question, random question of the day.
What is it?
What is a thing that you should know how to do? You know, guy thing, but you just suck at it.
Change a tire.
Josh actually asked that on the way here. He said, could I change a tire?
Could you change
I think
a
you
tire?
could do it. Push comes to shove. You're out there. Cobras are about to attack you and you need to change the tire.
You could definitely work it out, I think. If you looked at it, there's not a lot of moving parts.
Was it jack under the thing? Twirl the thing?
You twirl it?
Where
Tire
most
thing.
people get it wrong is where to put the jack.
Where do you put the... Yeah, I know where to put the jack.
Because there's a certain little piece there that it has to go on, otherwise you'll just pull the side bumper.
Metal piece?
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow, he's done
Attached
this
to
before.
the chassis.
Chassis.
That's what I...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Chandelier.
What about you, Austin?
Okay. You know how you think you can always be a plumber? I could fix that pipe. Like, oh, sink's clogged. I could do it. There was one time I actually really clogged my sink because when you cook something with oil, where do you put the oil? Do you pour it down the sink?
No.
See, I didn't know that. All right. And I did it for like 4 days in a row.
Oh my God.
What?
Where else do you put the oil?
Divine
Oh, he's
left
been
you.
clogging the sink.
That's Celeste.
Yes.
Well, the
bro.
oil soaks up into the food. I just eat the oil.
Okay, weird.
Excess
Excess oil. But I poured it in and then I clogged it and it was clogged. And I tried everything, every remedy, Drano, this, that, nothing. Had to get a pro to come clean it.
Yeah,
and he
you-
was like, you really messed this up.
You need to remelt it because it solidifies in there.
How do you remelt it?
Boiling water.
I did that. It didn't work. There's
just-
so much oil.
Just on plumbing, what about like a toilet with like poo in it? Will you do that?
I would never do that. I would leave that for anyone, but there's no way I'd ever put my hand or anything in there.
Oh my goodness. Okay, great. Great sidebar.
What?
So change a tire, fix a clogged sink. What's yours, bro?
Maintain a relationship?
What kind of relationship?
I don't know. What's something that I should be able to do that I can't?
Oh, that we can't.
That we can't?
Yes, bro.
Wow, I'm late to the party. Underprepared.
What's something? I don't know. I'm pretty handy. Like any sort of shit like that I can do. It would definitely be like more emotional relationship wise.
Okay.
Communicate.
So all those books aren't helping, obviously.
I'm trying, but it's definitely a communication is something that I need.
But should you be able to do that as a man? Most men, I feel like, struggle with emotional communication.
As a man in 2025, I think there's a little bit of responsibility there, maybe.
Wow. Okay.
No, I agree, but I just think that like, yeah.
Okay.
Well, there you go. Relationship. You're emotionally stunted. Will can't change a tire.
I thought it was what we
clogged
can do.
sinks. No, bro.
Okay, wait, what we can't do as a man?
That's
God,
late. It's locked
things.
in. You can't change a tire. Guys, do not ask Will to change your tire.
Okay.
Stop.
And what was yours? You
Clogging
can't.
drains. I can't not.
You can't not clog. Not clog drain.
No, if the drain gets clogged, I don't know what to do.
Okay.
You use-
Bro,
you use
I'm
one of
on the spot
the,
here.
what do they think? The plunger things.
And then Josh is stunted. Great. That is the first segment done. It's called random question of the day. Now,
Can I change my guess?
it's too late. It's done, brother. It's done. It's clipped.
Sure, let's
online.
run with it. Let's run with
Okay.
it.
The big one here. Would you say we get a fair few Instagram comments on our ads? I'm talking a bit like aggressive sometimes. Hundreds.
Yeah.
Maybe even thousands.
Thousands.
We
Yeah.
spend a lot on ads, so there's a lot of comments.
A lot of bad comments. And so this segment is called Crazy Comments, where we read some of these crazy comments and we talk about them.
Oh God. I get absolutely roasted in the comment section.
I know this might be a bit off script, but what if we say the comment that most affected us personally?
Yes. Yeah.
I know it.
Why
I
do you
do,
have
I
one
do.
in
Okay,
mind?
straight away, I've got it.
Okay, hold on. So, okay, wait.
Yeah, go.
Oh, I've got Hayden's one as well. Shotgun telling that. But okay, hold on. So we were in Bodrum and I was doing like a selfie from up high and I had the hat backwards and it was just like a real casual one. Anyway, someone said, bro, if you're making so much money, fix your bottom teeth. Well, guess what? I did fix my bottom teeth. You asshole.
We got Invisalign.
2 years later, I have my revenge.
Okay? Now who's laughing? But yeah.
Awesome. Which ones struck you the deepest?
No, you go first. You got that one. I think I know what you're going to
Okay,
say.
straight away in Bodrum, we're all doing ads. We're pumped up. The confidence is high, and I get hit with the lopsided nose face one. That one got me, and I went, "Do I stop doing ads? Is this it?" And the wrinkly shirt. That was funny, but definitely the nose.
And bro, you can't do Invisalign for your nose.
You can in
job.
Turkey.
Yeah.
What about you, Austin?
Oh, I've suppressed those memories, man. I've suppressed the bad
Funny they're
ones.
both in Bodrum.
Yeah, Bodrum. What was going on there? I think we just started. We weren't particularly good at ads. And so they were very roast-worthy.
Yeah, I think we were a lot more sensitive back then.
Yeah. Our feelings, we don't have feelings now.
No.
They're gone. They left the chat long ago.
What's yours, Buck? Come on. And then I got to tell Hayden's.
You can't say Hayden's on here.
It's so
We
funny.
can definitely tell Hayden.
And I'll do that. We got to do the intro. You can do the intro and then I can say what.
Oh, what was the crazy comments? I don't have one, bro. Do you remember anyone that was about me that was that bad? I've been kind of blessed to not get any that are so direct and actually true. All of mine are pretty false.
You kind of get Diddy a lot.
Yeah, but we all
big
get
Diddy.
I got super penultimate ultra Aussie Diddy. Like it's.
Okay, what have you been roasted with?
I've been roasted for how big my head is. Is that one?
That definitely works. Yeah.
You have
It
quite
works,
a large
doesn't it?
head because you got a big brain.
Yeah.
Nice. So I got roasted for that, but I've been roasted for that since day one. Like back in high school. It didn't go anywhere.
Water off a duck's back.
Water off a duck's back, baby.
Before we jump on, we got to tell Hayden's one.
Okay.
Sorry, Hayden.
Okay, so Hayden is one of our best mates and he also works for us as well. So we got him on to film some ads and we wanted like a bit of a hook. So his whole angle was just quickly, he was like, I don't know, something to do with an alarm. And he's like, yeah.
Beep, beep, beep.
And then someone goes, wait, what does he say? You're a clown or something?
Yeah. He got
the clown emoji.
with the clown emoji. Yeah.
Yeah. And everyone was just calling him a clown and he was just reading them and he wasn't ready for the, anyway, it was pretty funny.
It stuck with him, unfortunately.
Yeah. It was funny because we kind of put the pressure on him to do it straight away, but we'd all just arrived in Italy from Mykonos, so he was a little bit, I don't know.
He was shaken up.
He was a bit shaken up from Mykonos. It was hilarious. We could probably roll the clip, couldn't we?
Oh,
Roll
no, we can't do that to him. He's just copped a stray. He's done nothing.
Well, let's see what happens. We could always cut it in.
We'll do
Put it in, maybe. Well, those are our crazy comments. And we do get a lot. A lot of them are honestly just people being skeptical and then they roast you or they don't even watch the ad. Have you found that? Like a lot of them just say, why are you charging for courses? And then when you break it down, they don't realize the ad is about free thing.
Yeah,
We're not charging for that.
that's right.
And so I feel like they read it or they see a million ads like that. They see ours. They're like, I'm going to roast this guy.
Yeah.
It's fun. I get it. Writing negative comments, I don't do it, but I'm sure it's enjoyable for people. Like you roast a bit of, yeah, I feel good. That was funny. Nice. On to the next.
Okay, yeah, in a weird way.
In a weird way, I guess.
I don't understand.
You know what's a good topic? I know this might be off script again, underprepared, but I think the whole tall poppy syndrome thing in Australia is like a really interesting thing to bring up because people like they see other people doing well financially, helping people, and for some reason in Australia it's like just attack rather than just support people trying to actually make money and make a difference.
We run all these ads in Australia and Aussies, they're brutal.
Yeah.
Like when we started running ads in the US, they were chill. They were chill. I don't remember getting that many crazy comments, but Aussies, they hit and they hit hard.
Definitely tall poppy for sure.
Yeah, right.
They don't want to see other people in any
Succeed.
kind of business.
Yeah, it is what it is. I always try and reply empathetically to those comments. I never.
Always empathetically.
Yeah,
So this
fire back.
There's some passive aggressiveness here and there.
Yeah.
Well, occasionally I do it when I'm a bit frustrated and I go and reply to comments.
If you wake up grumpy.
If I wake up grumpy.
We also get painted by the same brush. There's a lot of people in the space that are pretty shitty.
Oh, it is what it is. It is what it is. We're in that industry.
It's a good thing to bring up though.
We chose to be here.
Yeah.
So we got to sort of pop it as we go along.
You guys know who you are.
But
Coming for you.
just on that, because this is a cool thing to bring up, what was the one thing we agreed to when we decided to get into like e-commerce education? Do you remember when we first started? That basically we weren't going to be like the others. We weren't going to be like flexing the Dubai life, the materialism. We wanted to, I guess, spread family, travel, community. And we basically made a pact to each other to just be different. And I feel like, minus some of the comments, we have achieved that.
That was actually our biggest objection was how do we do this without looking like all these course guys that are just doing wrong by people. I think we've done pretty good at that.
I think so too.
That's why we agree so quick.
Air fives?
Boom, boom, boom. Well, let's move on from crazy comments because this episode is running out of time and we need to talk about a highlight moment of the week. Now, the question for today is the thing you've spent the most money on in the past week. I know Josh's answer because I've been living with him and I know exactly what you've been spending the most money on.
Okay.
Do you want me to tell the people?
I can tell the people. Definitely my biggest expense right now is coffee. So
He gets so much, bro. He orders like 4 times a day.
yeah, I'm spending probably 160 dirham a day on coffee, which is
I think that's an undershot.
Oh, what's it, 70 Aussie dollars?
about $70 a day.
That's crazy work. Crazy work.
Yeah. I'm not proud of it.
What about you, Will? What
Bro,
have you
you-
been spending money on?
You go, let me think. You go. I'm just trying to think this week.
Craziest thing past week.
Past 7 days.
Week. I feel like some of the Uber trips here are pretty nuts. If you think about it, you're in the car for 20 minutes. What, you end up forking out 80, 90 bucks for a trip. Now, that's pretty nuts.
Oh, actually, I had a really expensive dinner not too long ago. Yeah, this week.
How expensive?
Dinners in Dubai, so expensive.
They get you. Dirhams do you not do the conversion? I don't do the conversion. And you kind of think, it's
My problem is I go in so hungry and you just can't do that in Dubai.
never go looking for
You
food.
got to pre-eat, like a
Yeah,
pre-drink, but pre-eat.
You got to pre-eat. I went to a steakhouse and I got a ribeye with the bone and I also got their 8-hour slow cooked ribs.
Yeah, well, brother,
Plus
that's
an
the name. If they put hours in the name, you
Mashed
know
potato
it
plus
cost
a
you.
soup. And I ate so much that I could hardly move. But the Egyptian server was just the best person I've ever met in my life. So
Come on, give us a reenactment. What do you do?
Best person you've ever met. Wow.
my brother,
Nice
my,
description.
oh, I knocked your mic. Sorry, brother. My brother, please, I insist, stand up. Let me move you here, please, please. No, I insist. Let me pour that. Like hilarious, bro. I wanted to tip him everything I had. I didn't because the bill was so expensive.
Fair enough. No, that's it.
I'll introduce you to him. He's hilarious. Hilarious.
Okay, well, what's yours?
Ed Sheeran, I guess. The tickets and the car
yeah.
there and back.
Eddie.
Yeah. So that was, I don't know, like
Well, that's
2,000
a
or
good one,
3,000
though.
dirham.
At least that's a good experience. You had a good experience as well.
Oh, actually, yeah. I bought 2 tickets to Ed Sheeran. But it wasn't overly expensive. No?
That's all in coffee.
Yeah, it's more than actually, I think I win. I bought some cologne. And the colognes, you smell them and you get excited and then you're like, I really like that
This is
one.
his opportunity to flex the cologne he wears.
No, I'm not flexing. I'm not saying
What
it.
cologne did you buy?
I'm not-
A quick word from our sponsors.
I'm not saying the cologne. We're in too deep now.
What was it? Everyone wants to know what you smell like.
No, but then everyone's going to copy. Or can they copy?
No, it's not like I invented cologne. I can't gatekeep. Clive Christian.
Beautiful scent.
Yeah.
Which one?
Well, okay, I will be honest though. I did get some Aqua de Parma. And then, did I pronounce that? Aqua de Parma. And then I come home and my girlfriend says, what does that smell? And she's like, something smells like Voltaren. You know Voltaren? Like the gel?
The anti-inflammatory gel?
Yeah. And I was like, you've got to be kidding me. I was like hyped up about this scent. I thought this is really nice. It's subtle. No, I can't wear it anymore. Every time I put it on, she laughs.
I'll have it.
It does have like a really nice scent. I'm looking at getting one soon.
The Voltaren one? No.
No, wait,
No, this
Clive.
different. Clive's doesn't smell like Voltaren. Thank goodness.
Oh, this is the other, the Aqua de.
Yeah. Okay, well, there we go. We spend on some funny things.
Yeah.
Some of them are experiences. I think that's justified. Whenever you can spend money on experiences, it's a good thing.
Coffee and meat for me.
Coffee and meat. Like, that's pretty standard. He's just a simple boy.
I'm a simple boy.
He's a simple boy.
I like my caffeine.
Well, we're going to talk about Student of the Week because, look, we're Freedom Club. I feel like if we just sat here and chatted about random things the whole time, kind of missed the point because we are an education company, all this aside, the funny jokes and just having a chat. And so we get lots of really cool results in the community. I think the one that's been standing out recently is from Anthony, and Anthony just hit 10K a month in profit. Now, the reason that that's cool is not because he hit that. We have a lot of students hit that, but it was because he used to come along to all of these calls, the live calls I do every Monday. And I would see him there. He'd ask questions. He tried a product. It didn't work. He stuck with it. I'm talking like, I think it was 6 months, 8 months of coming to calls consistently. And then he posts that. Like he goes dark for a little bit and then posts that. And I was like, he's done it. He's stuck with it. So I think those hit the hardest. It's not someone launches, they find a winner straight away and then everything's great.
Yeah.
Because that's just generally not how it goes. The real success stories, first product doesn't work, but they stick with it and they don't stop. So Anthony, shout out to you, Student of the Week, for the results you've been getting there.
This could be a wide angle right now.
Student
Shout
of the
out,
Week,
Anthony.
Well done, bro.
My man, well done.
Good stuff.
Good
and
persistence.
Anthony has been welcomed into the inner circle. So he is now involved in that. We can't talk about that though.
Welcome to the alumni.
We can't talk about the inner circle. We can't talk about it. Now we're going to finish today's episode with ecom sauce or life sauce. What's something
Sauce?
Sauce.
Sauce.
Okay, yeah, cool.
like you've learned?
Like ketchup, barbecue sauce,
Exactly.
mayonnaise.
Aioli. Something you've learned this week, something you want to leave everyone with so they can think about it for the next 7 days and be enlightened. What are we thinking? What have you learned this week, boys?
I mean, it's not something that I've learnt new, but I feel like I've got a common mistake that's come up this week that people make.
What is it?
And that's not having that primary product at least close to 100 Australian dollars. It's super common and it comes up heaps. So I feel like my little source, it sounds simple, but the product that you commit to, if you want your ads to work well, it needs to be a certain price. Otherwise, you just struggle.
Going too low?
Yeah, going too low, big problem. Yeah.
Big problem. Why?
Well, it's just with your ad spend. So you have to spend X amount to acquire a customer. So when you get that customer, as they come onto their site, if they spend at least $100, then you can scale your ads easier.
Yep.
And I feel like recently I went around Australia and interviewed a lot of our successful students. And one of the most common the mistake they made was that, and they fixed it by focusing on a more expensive primary product. And it still comes up. Like this week, I spoke to someone about it. That's why.
Oh, I got you. That's a good tip. That's a good tip. Sub 100, above $100 primary product.
Yeah, or
So
just,
more
around
expensive
it.
one.
And like in our defense, we talk about this in the program, but for some reason, some people don't always follow it and it can be quite detrimental to your progress.
Yeah. Trying to sell a cheap product with Facebook ads. If it's not cranking from day one, it's just hard. The margins are so small.
Yeah.
So what are you going to do?
Yeah. And again, like you said, it's not impossible, but it just makes it harder for you. Yeah.
It's a good one. I like that. Bit of ecom sauce.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Joshy, what do you got for the people?
For me, I think this week I actually went through and I selected a whole bunch of photos and sort of laid out my story. And one thing that I picked up from that, and even just when you were talking about Anthony then, perseverance. Like this is something that if you just keep going with, you will make it work. And I see that across all of our students, all of our successful students. The only people that it doesn't work for are the ones that just give up on it. And if you want it, and if you want it bad enough, you've got to be willing to just keep doing it until you have it in your hand. And I think that's my tip for the week for sure. For sure. And I felt that deep when I was looking back at my story 4 years ago, you know, in a kitchen, slaving my ass off. It was this decision to keep trying it until I made it work. And it wasn't easy. So that's my tip for the people watching.
Nice.
Making those stories were cool. Crafting those stories, thinking about everything that's happened, reminiscing, which can be tough sometimes. You look back at all the things that have happened and shaped you as a person. But I felt similar going through that. I was like, wow, this has been a big journey. Like a lot of stuff has happened.
Yeah.
So I guess my bit of ecom source to wrap up with is, because I talk with students all the time and so involved with them on the calls, inner circle, like just troubleshooting issues with people at day 1 or day 1,000. Not day 1,000, we're not that old yet, we're 2 years old. So maybe day 600 is that when they're going with building their brand, they get some initial sales and then they try and do something different. They're like, oh, how about TikTok ads? Oh, how about, I try this bid cap strategy, or how about I do this or that? And they get shiny object syndrome inside of the business model. I think we talk about shiny object syndrome just in general. Is that wanting to make money online? You say, oh, it could be affiliate, dropshipping, crypto, real estate, agency. Like there's 1,000,001 things to do. But I find that now even in the business models, there's shiny object syndrome between things because you think, cool, I've got some results. That means I need to do something different. And I think the best mental model I've applied and I keep coming back to from Hormozi is that you start by doing the same thing more and better before you do anything new. And I think if people can really cement that and they can just keep doing that, it makes life so much more simple because then you're not always looking for the new thing.
Yeah.
You just got to keep doing it more and do it better. If you nail those two, eventually you'll do something new. Eventually it will make sense to launch Google ads or email campaigns or whatever it is. But you just keep going more and better.
Yeah. Yeah. Rather than just chasing that quick reward.
Yeah.
You got to stick at something until
and
it works.
if something's working, then just pursue it.
Stick with it. Stick with it. Well, that's our ecom source wrapped up, and that's Freedom Fridays. Freedom
go.
Fridays, that's a wrap. Episode 1.
Episode 1.
Hope you all have enjoyed it.
When do I do the jingle?
The jingle. You're meant to jingle at the start.
Do 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 Afro circus, do 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 Afro circus, Afro circus, Afro circus, polka dot, and we're done.
Thank you for coming, everyone. Hope you enjoyed it. See you in the next episode. Woo!
Episode.
Catch up.
Ba 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 ba.